Yo, what's up, guys? This is the L7C bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. You already know how we do it on the channel. We just hop in with the deck, we just play anybody, and we see what we get. Currently, right now, just waiting, and then we're in. We got a game. We click in, click scissors. We get to go first or second. We choose to go first because, going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like the biggest, most important thing now. And then we hop in. And the hand is not looking too good. So what we do, we summon a White Stone of Ancients, automatically go into Link Karibo. And we have Eternal Soul, Imperm, Rainbow Life, and Regeki. So we set all three end turn. At the end of when White Stone of Ancients goes to the grave, I get a Blue Eyes. So at least I got the Blue Eyes out. 3K beater ready to go. We're interested to see what our opponent's going to be playing. He summons this beast, and I'm like, huh? Nimble Beaver? I'm like, I've never seen any of that before. I'm like, what the heck is he running? Some type of beast warrior build? And he normal summoned it, so I instantly impermed. Because usually when you stop the normal summon in today's game, the turn's typically over, unless they have extenders, and then he ended. But then he summons another card, and I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, okay. I was like, so we're playing... I was like, no, we're playing the Merfaes. The Merfaes, the Mayfees, however the heck it is. And I'm like, oh, I know these cards. These are the cutest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. So I'm just like, I actually don't even know what any of them do. So I'm at the mercy of my opponent on that. He has the advantage. And then he's doing something else. And I'm like, alright, I'm just trying to play fusion deployment. Summons him from the hand, and with that, he can synchro summon on my turn from doing that. I'm like, alright, so Herald of the Art, I'm like, okay, at least I know what that card is. So then I'm thinking, do I want to do Twin Burst, Attack 2? And then I'm like, alright, well, we're going to do the two Blue Eyes. And then, again, I don't know what any of these Merfaes do. I just know they're super cute monsters and cute design. So we're like, alright, what are we doing? So that monster goes back to the hand, and then he gets a Rescue Cat. He's like, I know what a Rescue Cat does. So at least that's good. So then I'm like, alright, maybe I can get an attack with Link Karibo, then attack with Blue Eyes, and get a 3K attack. I attack with Link Karibo, another effect happens. He goes back to the hand. I'm here waiting. Then another little cute little monster comes out. His effect blows up Blue Eyes or sends it to the grave. Either or, Blue Eyes is gone. That one is. And it's like, do you want me to replay? I'm like, no, because that thing has 1,400 and Link Karibo only has 300. So I attack Herald of the Art. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I really don't. And then I end turn. Nothing really I can do here. And with the Merfaes, I know they're cute. I know they're level 2 to 3 monsters. I don't know what their end game is or what their biggest board can be. So I have the Regeki in my hand ready. But if it's at a point where if he was getting close to OTKing me, I would have to discard the Regeki for Rainbow Life to save myself. So then I'm currently seeing if I'm going to do anything. And I'm like, no, man, there's nothing I can really do. There's Rainbow Life and Eternal Soul at the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry, set, not at the bottom of the deck. So then he gets 2 monsters off a Rescue Cat, and I'm like, okay, let's see. Then we're going. Summons the Merfae XYZ monster. I'm looking it over. You can attach one material from the card, add 1 Merfae card from your deck to your hand. Okay, if your monster control returns to your hand, you can target one face of monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack, and its effects negated while it's facing on the field. I'm like, ooh, that's a strong effect. And he's activating his spell with the Merfaes. And it's something else with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because now you expect to play 4 type of decks. You always expect to play with the top decks or popular decks or decks who Yu-Gi tubers or competitive players have made popular. So you never expect to play something so out of the box like these Merfaes because you don't know how to prepare for them. And I guess the same can be said about my deck. Yes, I run cards that everybody knows, like Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician and all that, but no one's ever played them mixed like this. Especially playing a guy like me who's had this mixed for over a decade and have crazy combinations just to connect them both, and then the next thing you know, you're dead. So I'm sitting here now on that opposite side of that because I don't know what any of his stuff does. So it's like, what can I do? I have an Eternal Soul set, so I'm hoping I can get a Rod or a Magician Souls, and then he Monster Reborns, and he takes my Blue Eyes, and I'm like, oh shoot, is he trying to kill me this turn? Like, what can I do? And then he goes again, goes into another XYZ monster, and I'm looking at the field. He has Blue Eyes 3000. The monster has 2000 attack, 0 defense, and that XYZ monster, Mathmex use that card a lot. That's a staple in the Mathmex deck. So I'm just looking, it's like, I don't think I can die here. I do have Link Karibo, who's been out since on that field since turn 1. So he goes into battle, and then I'm seeing who he's going to attack. He attacks that with Blue Eyes. I'm like, I was like, no, I'm going to Link Karibo that. So now he's at 0. And he still goes through with the battle. I'm like, nope. I was like, yep, take your 3000 damage. But then Blue Eyes gets sent to my hand. But that's perfect, because now with Blue Eyes sent to my hand, I don't have to discard the Regeki. I can discard the Blue Eyes for Rainbow Life. So that played right into my hands. And I'm like, no. So then I gain an extra 3000 attack, and he probably was not expecting that. So I was like, okay, well. But even though I survived that turn, I'm in a severe disadvantage. Even though I have Regeki, I only have an Eternal Soul set, and I have no monsters in my hand, no graveyard effects, and I'm going against a deck I've never played before. So it's very interesting to see how I'm going to try and get out of this, because now he has 5 monsters, and I'm like, oh boy. And I draw a Masters of Eyes of Blue, which is good. So my first inclination seeing this is I'm going to Regeki, blow everything up. But I did not read his cards, and that's a bad thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! So he had protection, so I got rid of 2, but 3 stayed. So that's really not that great. Do Master of Eyes of Blue's effect to get White Stone of Ancients back to my hand. And I'm like, no. Because that's really all I can do at this point in time. And then we're just waiting to see what and then he summons another one of these things. And I'm like, alright, so if I remember correctly, they tag out, one leaves, then you bring one, then it bounces. And then he negated my effect. But the only reason I was doing that, I was trying to get Link Karibo out on the field to protect myself. That's really the best thing I can do at this point in time. And it keeps asking me if I want to activate. It's just Eternal Soul at the bottom. That's really all that it is. And I'm just like, oh, boy, what can we do? We need, if this was the anime, a card of Sanctity would be perfect right now. And I actually think he gets rid of the Link Karibo right here, which he does. So now I have to end my turn. From playing this game and seeing the attack power he's been putting out, I don't think I'm going to get OTK'd. But there's 4 monsters on the field to my 0 monsters on the field. And I only have 1 face down. It's an Eternal Soul, and it's not good right now. If I can get the White Stone of Ancients back out there, if I survive this turn, then I can recycle that, send him to the grave, get Link Karibo back, end phase, get another Blue Eyes. So that's what I'm hoping if I can survive this turn. So I'm just looking at anything. I'm just counting the attack. I'm like, as long as it's not 11,000, as long as he doesn't have something where he can attack 20 times in a turn, I should be okay. So then we're just sitting here waiting. And this on me. I'm seeing if I want to activate anything. I had to move my little mouse. And I was like, nope. I'm all good, man. You got me here. And then I'm currently at 11,000 attack, and he's at 11,000 life points, and he's at 5,000 life points. So I'm just like, okay, I have the life point advantage because of Rainbow Life, but I don't have the field advantage. I don't have the hand advantage. And so I'm at a real disadvantage in this game. And I'm just like, what can we do here to survive? Is there anything and we could draw to turn the tables? Is there anything? I mean, with the Regeki, that was our chance to turn the tables if we read cards, which is always why you read cards, because then if you don't, stuff like that happens. If I would have known that his cards protect him, I might have saved the Regeki, maybe. But then again, he had my Blue Eyes and a 2000 attack monster, so if I didn't do it, those monsters would still be on the field. So now he's just doing him because he knows I have nothing to stop his attack, and we're just casually waiting it up. And as always, when you see that waiting for opponent, I always assume on the other side they're taking their time to formulate their plays, or they're trying some crazy combo that they've never tried before. So they have to read every card, or reading a new card they just put in because they're testing it for testing purposes, if they're going to use it in real life or not. That's sometimes what I do on Nexus. I'll get a card that I plan on never using in like real life, but I test it out on Nexus to see if it has some good synergy with my deck before trying it out in person. It's just the way I like to play test, especially now in these times during coronavirus. So then he links 3 and he has access code talker, and I'm like, oh no, no, no. Now we're at 4,300, I'm sorry. And Access Code Talker is a big boy. It's probably one of the best Cyverse Link monsters they have right now. It would be crazy if he was here along with like a firewall. That'd be dirty. So I take the 43, go to end phase, and I'm like, nope, there's nothing I can really do at this point in time. And he's like 4,300 monster with 1 card on field, 1 in hand. I'm like, okay, I draw Magician Souls. So then I'm thinking to myself, okay, what can we do here? We're having to look. The play would be do Magician Soul. We're seeing his back row too. We realize his back row is a thing protecting his monster. So we already activate that effect to get Dark Magic attack. We might have done that a little bit prematurely because he could have blown it up and just ruined everything, but it is what it is. So we activate. We send Dark Magician to the grave to send souls to the grave to get Dark Magician back, because it's finally time. It's time we go into it. Blue Eyes had its fun at the beginning. Now it's Dark Magician's turn. That's how my deck works. When one dies, the other one comes, and then both of them come. It's really fun. So then we're seeing what he's doing. We've gotten used to this tag out. It's almost like a Gladiator Beast type thing where you could tag out. He tries to target my Dark Magician. He can't because of Eternal Soul. It makes him unaffected by my opponent's card effects. I blow up his back row. He had an imperm that was set, and I was like, alright. So then I summon Whitestone of Ancients, and remember, this is what I did turn 1. He does that. So then I actually do the quick effect of Link Karibo. People don't realize that's a quick effect. That you tribute a level 1 on the field to special summon him from the grave. Great effect. That's why I think Link Karibo is the best Link 1 in the entire game. So then I have that going for me. It's asking me if I want to activate anything. I'm just like, no. I go into battle phase. I attack that monster. And then I end turn. And then at the end of my turn, I get a Blue Eyes White Dragon, the last one in my deck. I think I put that one in defense mode. So I got my Blue Eyes, I got my Dark Magician, and I got my Link Karibo. I technically got my 3 cards right now. He summons Rescue Cat. I can't do anything about Rescue Cat. So then he gets his... And I'm reading Access Code Talker, making sure he doesn't have any more negates or anything like that. I know I can't activate effects in response to his thing. I'm looking at his grave to see if he has another Link monster to banish, because that's one of Access Code Talker's best abilities, to banish the Link to blow up. So then he does that. He goes into the cat, green cat as I call him. Very powerful, can negate spells. So I'm sitting here waiting. I don't have any spells right now. And he has access code. If I survive this turn, my goal would be to make BLS Link, destroy that cat, get and banish access code. He banishes his Link monster, and I think he tries to target Eternal Soul. Oh, no, he targets Link Karibo because he wants to not have to worry about the 0 attack. And then he tributes himself, which I did not understand there at all. I felt like if he would have attacked, he would have been fine, but to each their own there. Me personally, I would not have done that. I felt like that was a misplay. Because I'm like, so what are you blowing up? He targets Dark Magician again, doesn't read Eternal Soul. Dark Magician is unaffected by card effects, and he quits. You gotta read the cards. Dark Magician Blue Eyes stands supreme.